Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So yeah, we have a lot going on. We had a lot going on yesterday. We have a bit more going on today. And tomorrow's going to be a very interesting April 2nd. So what I'm going to tell everybody, I'll start out with, you should be very careful about what you're researching today. Absolutely get out there and verify and corroborate everything that you see for obvious reasons, but I'll say it anyway. It's April Fool's Day in the United States, so you should pay attention to that, okay? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Those are the rules for GMB3. Follow those, and they'll definitely help you. Now, what do we have going on? A Brazilian judge is not playing games. They're allowing notifications, subpoenas, to be sent via NFTs to over 900 defendants rather. Holy moly. And it's supposedly involved with the whole Bitcoin fraud case tied to BWA Brazil. That is no joke. That is no joke. So sending that out via NFTs, talk about embracing the times. Holy moly. So I find that to be interesting because I wonder what else is going to come. If the government's going to use NFTs in that way, what else is going to come? It's not just this action; it's what else is going to come. And I'm gonna be quite frank with you. I actually think that's pretty cool. I think it's very smart. So yeah, no, I'm hoping that more comes. Then you've got Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong pleading with U.S. regulators and U.S. lawmakers to allow people to earn interest on their stablecoin. Now, what does that sound like? It sounds like a banking situation, right? It's not a bad thing. He's saying, hey, listen, we don't mind paying some interest on your stable coins because we're using it to go make money. In other words, we're taking your savings and we're using your money to make money off your money. And what's investing, everybody? It's you making money off your money. So what's the new game? Banks used to tell you that if you deposit your money, you'll make money off of interest, and that's really, really great. And they didn't tell you how they were necessarily making money off of your money by giving out loans and buying real estate and doing this, doing that, and the other. Now you have the capability of doing that yourself. So when you look at Coinbase saying, hey, we want to be able to pay interest, to me, that makes it look like a bank, right? And you have a lot of, centralized exchanges starting to look at what are those opportunities that we have to actually get into the banking business. Aha. Then you also have banks, obviously now, with the abilities and the rights to become exchanges and custody crypto. So you're looking at a future clash of titans going on, and it's up to you to figure out, well, which side do you want to land on? Just saying. If you're investing in banks, maybe. If you're investing in, Coinbase and publicly traded, centralized exchanges, maybe. Right now, isn't Coinbase the only one? No, there could be more, but I think Coinbase is the largest one in the United States. It is the largest centralized exchange in the United States. I don't know if anybody else is publicly traded. I know that Gemini isn't because they're just looking at it. I know Kraken isn't because they're just looking at it, meaning going IPO. So you have a lot of things going on that make it so that you're going to start to see change over the next few years, not even necessarily a few years, in that space. Centralized exchanges and banks. They're either going to fight each other or love each other. One of the two. Mixture if you think about, the different ones that are coming online and things like that. And I'm telling you, I'm looking at that purchase by Kraken of NinjaTrader. That one is huge. That one is going to be bigger than most people think. And frankly, I think that puts Kraken on the chopping block for a company, for a bank that can afford it. If you want to tap into, because I think between Kraken and NinjaTrader, they're going to create an organization that controls or has billions of assets under management. That's going to be a very interesting thing. We could see mergers happen in that space. Who's left? TradingView, There are a few other, independent platforms that are out there that can be bought. Remember when Thinkorswim was an independent trading platform? Yeah. And then you have existing players like E-Trade that are absolutely getting into the space. They've announced it. They've talked about it. They talk about working with the government about it. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Strong platform. I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but it's a strong platform. And I think that they're working to make it an even stronger one. I think they're going to present a compelling, I think Morgan Stanley is going to create a compelling reason to use E-Trade. What else do we have? North Korea's Lazarus Group. Everybody thinks that it's just this one group that goes out there hacking everything, when it's a sprawling operation with various levels of capabilities within the whole organization. And that's what researchers are looking into. Not just using mixers and things like that, but what specific areas they're going after, how they attack, their attack vectors, what tools are in their toolbox for the different levels and layers of attacks. That hit against Bybit was done most likely by an elite team within the Lazarus Group. Lazarus Group is just a blanket name that's used, when you're describing North Korean hackers, but it's a huge sprawling operation. Sprawling. Just putting that out there for you so you have a better understanding about what's going on. What else do we have going on? Vietnam's SSE and Singapore's MAS signed a regulatory cooperation agreement on digital assets, while Dubai launched a real estate tokenization pilot. Do you see how everything is starting to globalize in a major fashion? For those people that are out there and still saying to themselves, oh, I don't understand crypto, I don't know about crypto, you better learn crypto. You better start to understand the crypto space. By leaps and by bounds, it's entering your life in a major fashion. Here's another example. Singapore and India signed a letter of intent to create a green and digital shipping corridor, GDSC, aiming to advance maritime decarbonization and digital transformation. Again, you're looking at Web3 services, because all of this is a part of Web3. Web3 services expanding around the world, not just being invested in, but being adopted from a technological perspective and implemented. So if you're not in this space, doing your own research, understanding knowing your exits and your entries and exits, and absolutely investing deliberately, you're doing yourself an injustice. Your first investment is in yourself, and that's the knowledge part, doing your own research. Do your own research. Understand what's out there. Understand what's coming. We've got a book publishing in a couple of days, and I think everybody's going to like it. And it covers the GMB3. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. We'll get into more of it later, but I thought I'd just let you know. Then you've got Ripple minting 50 million RLUSD. Why is that a significant thing? It's significant because that's the largest batch that they've ever done. Number two, it's a very big deal because they're aiming to become within the top 5 stable coins in the United States by the end of 2025. That's not going to be hard to do. They're drumming up a lot of noise, a lot of speculation about it. I think they can do it. They've got a long way to go, but I think they can do it. They're far more active than PayPal, I'll tell you that. Then you've got incoming CFTC chair Brian Quintens discussing expanding crypto spot market oversight and easing rules for derivatives. On top of that, he's also signaling potential collaboration with the SEC on digital asset regulation. Now, we knew that was coming, and I just want to make sure that you continue to have that at the forefront of your mind, because that's going to be a very big deal as we move forward with this industry. These are not small things. These are not small things at all. And I forgot to, I'm going to start asking this question every day, every morning. Yo, what's going on, Lo D? Good morning from New York. And the question today is going to be, have you invested in yourself? And that's a simple yes or no. And if it's no, you better get with it. That's today's poll question. What else do we have? And that'll probably be a standard question every day, just as a reminder to everybody to do their own research on a daily basis. What else do we have going on? We've got Tether Holdings. Now, I've read a couple of articles, did some research, and it looks like Tether may have purchased 8,888 Bitcoin. It's April Fool's Day. I don't know. Tether does have that kind of money. So I don't know. But it sounds like that's exactly what they did. It's worth about $734 million, increasing its total holdings to 92,646.57 BTC. As institutional players continue buying, Bitcoin price volatility continues. But what I'm thinking is that that was a smart move. I'm pretty sure they did it, and it's a very smart move. They need to show that they've got reserves that can back USDT. Not only are they doing that, but they're making investments around the world. They're doing all kinds of things. Tether's putting their money to good use in major fashions. I still want to see how they're going to react to the stablecoin laws that are coming about in the United States, meaning that you have to be 100%, you have to have reserves backing your stablecoin 100%, one-to-one level. So I want to see how they kind of respond to that. Now, and I did the numbers before, being that they're making $3 to $4 billion per quarter, and they're currently at, what is it, 100, give me a moment. They're currently at $143 billion. Just saying. They might be able to do it. They might be able to do it. Right? It's $3 to $4 billion a month. A month. About $14-15 billion, 13 to $15 billion per quarter. So in 2.5 years, they'd be able to cover that distance if they started from zero, which we all know they're not starting from zero. I think they'll be fine making certain minimum requirements. I think one of the other requirements is going to be being audited, and that's someplace where Tether does have some weakness. But I think they would eventually get over that and make it so that they can be audited. What else is going on? South Korea's FIU is investigating BitMEX, KuCoin, and a few other centralized exchanges for operating in their country illegally, they say. And I'm sitting back and I'm just kind of going, guys, this isn't hard. This is one of the most active countries in the world when it comes to crypto, and all you have to do is follow regulatory concerns, handle it, get it done already. We've been hearing about this for months. Take care of this already. BitMEX and KuCoin, come on, step up your game. And it's not the first time that we've seen problems or issues with KuCoin, operating outside of, regulatory guardrails, we'll say. Because they're not allowed to do that in the United States anymore, right? Gotta have KYC and AML implemented within your organization, and that's know your customer, right? It's know your customer and anti-money laundering. So those are very big deals. So we should be paying attention to things like that because they do affect our bags. Because I'll tell you right now, Grow My Bag, this community is a very international community. We've got people all around the world watching all of our shows. So yeah, I bring you news from all around the world. And the reason why is because Bitcoin is global. Crypto is global. For most cases, crypto is stateless. Yeah, put that in your back pocket. That means something that happens in South Korea, something that happens in Brazil, something that happens in the United States, something that happens in Singapore, something that happens in Europe, they all affect each other. That's why we have to be paying attention to all of this global news. So that's what I do. This is what I try to bring you, along with some opinion about it as I start to connect all those dots and about how things are happening. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. Let me get my notes out of the way. I could close it. And today, what are we getting? We're getting Richmond Fed president speaking up. We've got S&P final, U.S. manufacturing PMI, construction spending, ISM manufacturing, job openings, and auto sales. Now, the big three in the United States in terms of automobiles is going to the United States and saying, hey, can we do something about this whole, tariff thing? And can we, get certain parts excluded? It's a big deal. I want you to pay attention to something else. There's a lot of noise about bringing manufacturing back to the United States. I want you to pay attention to the other side, which is we're still offshoring a lot of, office jobs that are worth, six figures and above. So while manufacturing could be making a comeback, we're still bleeding, hemorrhaging mid-level and upper-level opportunities offshore. And that is a major problem. Why? Because that's even more money leaving the country. It's not just the jobs that are leaving the country. It's the money is leaving the country. Literally leaving the country. That hurts the United States economy. That's something that has to be looked into. It really does. What else do we have? Fear and Greed Index is at 34, steady. Yesterday was at 34. DeFi Llama, we're back above $101 billion in total value locked, almost $102 billion. That's huge. Bitcoin is up a bit to $84,000 right now. Yesterday was at 81. Look how far down we went yesterday. Boom, right about there. 81 and change. And now we're up here at about, right there, at about 84,304. Not bad. Not bad at all. But tomorrow's another day, and tomorrow is what I'm calling tariff day. We're going to find out about a lot of tariffs that are going to hit. And what that means is we're going to be finding out a lot about taxes that are going to hit, because tariffs are taxes. Period. So just putting that out there for you to pay attention to. Then when you're looking at the big board, you see a lot of things in the green, but nowhere near where they were just even a week ago. Bitcoin is, hovering around mid 80s. Ethereum's below 2,000. I think that's a buy. XRP at $2.15. It was at $2.08, even lower. Yes, it was $2.05 yesterday. $2.05. Huh. I'm just saying, we've seen a nice little increase right there. What's that, 5% increase? Almost. Look at that, 4.85. Just saying. Ton is up at $4. HBAR is up. Hype is up. Wrapped ETH is up. Or WETH, whatever that is up. Link is up. That's something I'm interested in. Aave is up. Uni's up. Doge looks up, but Shiba Inu is up. Was it 12 yesterday? Yesterday was a good day to buy. Just saying. Then you have, let me get rid of that. Don't want to duplicate it. Right there. Let me just refresh the page. And there you are, 84,306. And you've got year to date at 9% down. Year to date for Ethereum, 43% down year to date. So first quarter, Ethereum's been doing horribly. I think that April 30th is going to be a great day for Ethereum. Why? Because that's when the Pectra upgrade hits. And I think we're going to see a lot more going on in the Ethereum space. You've got XRP year to date is back in the green at 3.63, right? You still have a lot of opportunity to get in and buy some good things that are making good moves. What I do when I do that, let's take a look at the at the losers on the GMB crypto tracker. And let's see, Pudgy Penguins is down 4.99%. You stop there. I have a 5% rule. 5% sways. If you're below 5% sways, I'm not going to care. It's just that, I pay attention to Pudgy Penguins. No, I do not have a bag. I just kind of like the name. It's cute. It's got a GMB X factor of 11.76. Do I think it'll ever come back? Moving on. Right? Winners. Let's see. Fartcoin is up 34.44% with a GMB X factor of 3.66. So imagine that. In a day, it's up 34.44%. If you're paying attention to things out there, you could be making money. Curve Dow is up 16.79% with a GMBX factor of 27.69. Do I think it'll make it? No, I don't. Pendle is swinging around, up 13.85% with a GMBX factor of 1.62. I do think Pendle can do something. Let's see, Cat in a Dog's World, a GMBX factor of 3.67. It's one of those memes that for me kind of sits on the fence. It could come back, maybe not. We'll see what happens. But it's currently up 10%, 10.36. I'm telling you, if you're paying attention to what's going on in the market, you can play the ups and downs and make money. Everything right here is within 24 hours. This is the movement within 24 hours. So you've got, let's see, who else am I paying attention to? Render up 9.24% with a GMBX factor of 2.68. Pay attention. AI plays and infrastructure plays are coming back. Pepe, another big coin, another big meme, is coming back. It's up 8.77% with a GMBX factor of 2.68. Yes, I think that'll actually come back. Jitto is another one that I've been paying attention to. It's up 8.39% with a GMBX factor of 1.51. Again, another yes that I think it'll do it. Don't ask me about this one because I don't like it. Aave up 8.12% with a GMBX factor of 2.94. Yes, Aave I think is going to do it. Strong. I like Aave. I do like Aave. See, Bonk is another one that's coming back. It's got a up 7.69% with a GMBX factor of 3.89. Yes, I think it can do it. Yes, I think it can do it. Caspa is up 8% with a GMBX factor of 2.04. I think Caspa can do it. Brett, a meme coin, I think it can do it. It's up 8.1% with a GMBX factor of 6.19. Brett, the reason why I think it can do it is because Brett moves in big swings. It moves in big swings. That's why I think it can do it. So these are the things I'm paying attention to right now. And I hope that you're doing your own research, knowing your entries and exits, and absolutely investing deliberately. Like I said, the GMB 3 book will be out very, very shortly. It really is more like 3 books in one. And I'll start describing that book to you later on today. But it's like 3 books in one. It's awesome. It's awesome. 284 pages of, or 288? I think it's 288 pages of nothing but heavy hitting things about how you can apply the GMB3 to 3 different spaces: business, crypto, and stocks, or the stock market in general. So we get into that and how you can actually use that strategy to actually increase your knowledge in those spaces and, make more solid moves. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you have a good one. Hope you like what I'm doing here. And if you do, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and absolutely tell your friends about us. This is a totally different community than all others out there. We don't just talk to you about what's going on when the market is going up. We're also teaching you the skills that help you get through when the market is going down. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Bye-bye.